Welcome to the Coach Godwin Use the Game Show. I'm your host, Coach Koran Godwin, author, skill trainer, entrepreneur, father, mentor. This show is sponsored by ballhoggloves.com. If you need any basketball training equipment, we got you. Cones, gloves, pads, whatever you need. Go to ballhoggloves.com. So this show is primarily for athletes that want to understand the game beyond those four lines. We're going to talk about some of the things that are in basketball on the court, but also off the court. I think at this point in life, there's so many ways to use the game of basketball to enhance your life, to network. We're just going to talk about an array of things. I'm also going to bring along some of my family and friends and people that I know that are successful, that have played basketball or even other sports that want to contribute to the conversation about you becoming better and using the game. One of the stories that I like to talk about is one of the first ways that I was able to use the game of basketball. I go back to my senior year of high school, all-state player out of Roselle, New Jersey, Abraham Clark High School, and it came time to make a decision on what school I actually attend to play basketball. I had one Division I offer before the season that I didn't take. Right there, Fairleigh Dickinson. I went to an actual showcase and did well. But during the season, second game of the season, I had 38 points. I ended up averaging over 25 points a game, close to double-figure rebounds as well as a shooting guard. And a lot of the schools started to pick up. And as these schools picked up, now I had more options and I had to choose where I wanted to go and where I wanted my long-term roots to be. So I ended up going and choosing the University of Buffalo for a couple of reasons. The number one reason is, they had a couple of players from New Jersey that was already up there. Shout out to Luke Campbell. Had an awesome career, pro player, retired at 40 or so. So he did well for himself, but he was from a neighboring town, Rahway, New Jersey. I knew he was up there. A guy named Ryan Peterson as well with the Seton Hall Prep. He was up there, so it felt comfortable, comfortable situation to go into. But the primary reason that I went to the University of Buffalo is because the coach at that time was worth over $100 million on Wall Street. So even at this early age, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to play basketball, but I know that the game is going to run out on me. Whether you make it to the NBA or not, there is that day that ball will stop bouncing, right? So what am I going to do? So me being a business major and just loving, business, anybody that knows me, I've got basketball and business and investing. That's what I love to talk about. Those are my passions, among other things as well. I said I can get a job on Wall Street. Being right there from New Jersey, New York is right there. I said I got to get this job, because I knew that represented financial security and something that I can raise a family on one day. So went to the University of Buffalo. Right away, I knew that, this is going to be rough. The snow in Buffalo, if you've ever been up there, is tremendous. I remember sitting there with my roommate. TV came on, and we happened to be watching the news, and they said it was going to be 62 inches of snow. And I couldn't believe it. Being a guy from New Jersey, snows, you play with the snow on the ground a little bit, throw snowballs, whatever, and it's over. But not up there in Buffalo. So 62 inches of snow did happen, and so much so that we were shut in. You couldn't even see your cars. We had to spend all day digging them out, and then we had to go get some food. So I knew that this is a place that I probably couldn't stay for 4 years. With that being said, I knew that I came there for a reason, and that number one reason was to get that job on Wall Street. So freshman year, I had a great experience, some ups, some downs. Didn't play as much as I like to play. My high as a freshman game, I think it was about 26 points a game. Played against Central Michigan. Chris Webber had a couple brothers. I think two of them played on that team, and that was the highlight of my season. I had 26 points, and I knew personally that I was going to Florida. You see it right there, the University of North Florida. I didn't know what school I'd go to, but I knew that my objective was I have to get to the beach after being there for a year. So I go into the coach's office. I say, look, I want to transfer. I can't be here for 4 years. I appreciate the opportunity. But before I go, I need that job on Wall Street. And I was able to actually get the job, on Wall Street. I worked right there at the World Financial Center, which is right there next to the World Trade Center. That's where I worked every day. So when the towers fell down, on September 11th, I was working there every day, but I left in August because I had to go back to school. So it was definitely a surreal feeling, and just prayers up for everybody that was affected for that, by that tragic event. But I got the job. So every summer, I came home from the University of North Florida, which I ended up transferring to. I had a job waiting for me, and it's on Wall Street, and it was just an amazing experience. The people that I was able to meet, the way that I understood, how the financial markets work, and being a part of that trading process was something that even to this day has affected my life. Investing is something that I recommend that everyone do. You really can't work your way out of the rat race. It's not designed that way. But you can invest your way out, whether that be through real estate, the stock market, cryptocurrencies, any investable assets. That's what life is really about once you understand the totality of the game and in which we're in. So that was one of the primary things that I was able to do in using the game to actually affect my life off the court. I had an objective. It said I'm going to play basketball for free. I got the full scholarship, but along with that, what else am I getting? So I would say to a lot of guys that are in that position right now, whether you in high school looking to figure out what school you want to go to, or you're in college and you're looking to transfer to a new school, you have to look way beyond the game of basketball. Not where am I playing, but what am I becoming here, and what can I get out of this experience? A lot of times, I mentor a lot of kids. I train a lot of kids, and I have some kids that have gone to the Ivy League. I have some kids that are sub-Ivy League schools. I have some kids that just go to State U. It doesn't matter. One of the things I preach is that you want to really tap into the network. So you're not really just going in just to play basketball. You're at a college or university. People are praising you. People know who you are. People want to talk to you. Network. Utilize your status, because once you graduate, things kind of flip. Those smart guys that are in class that you may not pay attention to, those are the guys that are getting great jobs and great positions. And when you look 10 to 15 years down the road, these are the guys that you want to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, so and so, da da da, you remember me? I'm not playing basketball anymore, but hey, I want to be able to join your firm or assist any way I can. So, just keep that in mind. Using the game of basketball is way beyond just the sport we're playing. At a young age, I was blessed to be able to think about the network and what the University of Buffalo could do for me. And it was just a pivotal moment in my life, being able to go to New York, every day, taking the PATH train over from Jersey, having that experience, getting paid actually, during that experience, and seeing kind of how things work, from the background. And to this day, I'm thankful for that experience, because I've never stopped investing, ever since I figured things out, in my early 20s. So that is one of the ways that, I was able to use the game. There are a ton of examples that we're going to talk about, but that's the first one I wanted to share. So as I said, this is the Coach Godwin Use the Game show. Probably going to put this on, podcasts, obviously on YouTube and other platforms where we can just share knowledge. I'm older now, and it's always been about giving back. Even when I was younger, been training guys for over probably 20 years now. I started at the age of 15 with just kids in the park, and now I'm in my 40s, right? So it's time to share this knowledge. And if you have any questions, post those in the comments, and maybe I can talk about those on a later show. Parents, players, everybody, share this material to people that you think need to hear this information. And as always, God first, work until.